Now we're going to dive in and take a look at these color palettes. So up to the Macabacus section of the ribbon, over here under the gear, we're going to click Configure. We can see right at the top in the general section, color palettes. Now this is one of the first things that we're going to want to set up as we're getting our company configured to use Macabacus. And just to review quickly, the motivation for setting this up is that we get complete control and complete customization over 56 colors, and we can define and create our own unique palette that we can push out to all the users across our organization. Let's jump in and get started. So the first thing that we want to do is create a new palette. If you've just loaded Macabacus, then what you're going to see here is the default color palette that comes with Macabacus. Let's go right over here and click the plus sign to add a new palette. For this demonstration, we'll just call this New Palette, just like this, and we're going to click the OK button. So our new palette has now been created. Next step is going to be for us to start adding in some colors. Now instinctively, we're probably going to head down here and click on one of these squares in the grid, and then we can add in a color. It's probably not likely that you're going to want to use these basic colors. In fact, your organization likely has specific RGB codes, and these are often laid out in a corporate branding document. So in this case, what you're likely going to do is head over here where you can input RGB codes. And what we're going to do is put in an RGB code that we use for an orange here at CFI, 2509828. And we can click OK, and we see that that gets added right in here to the color palette. Now what's really nice about this color palette in the grid formation is that these RGB codes come up right on the color. So we don't in fact have to hover over them to see the RGB codes. They just show up for us, which is really handy. We could easily continue working through this process, but there's going to be two downsides to this. Number one, we're going to have to manually punch in all the RGB codes that we're interested in adding to our palette. The other thing is that once we get a color positioned on this grid, like this orange that we've put in the top left corner, it's difficult to actually move it to a different position on the palette if we want to later. So in the next video, we're going to go through a process that we find much more intuitive here at CFI, and we're going to make use of this button down below where we import colors from Excel. Let's dive in and take a look. If you're enjoying these tips and would like to see more of our content, please like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for your support, and we'll see you soon in the next video.